Hi guys, welcome back to the Astrology. Today we are going to be doing the video for Jupiter's transit into the sign of Gemini, and we are doing this video for the sign of Aries. You can watch this video both from an Aries ascendant rising as well as from Aries moon perspective. So guys, this video is going to be focused for the next few months, which means that for Jupiter's transit, which starts on 14th of May till around 14th, 15th of October, is going to be captured within this video itself. Then Jupiter will transit into the sign of Cancer. We will not capture, in fact, we will create the video at that point of time itself so that it is fresh in your memory. But your objective is to understand very clearly that what can be anticipated with transit of Jupiter into your third house of Gemini. So guys, as you can see on your screen here, for Aries, Jupiter is coming into its Marran Karaka placement. Now, Marran Karaka placement sounds extremely scary, but I do not want you to be getting too worried about it because we are going to understand as to what kind of implications that might have. Now, see, Jupiter gets exalted in the fourth house for you as Aries. It's in the sign of Cancer. It gets exalted there, but 12th to itself becomes the Marran Karaka, maybe the loss of all great things that can come from Jupiter. But Jupiter is traditionally not a planet where it can do a lot of actions by itself. He is not into hard work, and coming into a house where he has to exude that physical effort becomes tricky. And that is why the first impact of that Maran Karaka placement of Jupiter you're going to find is that some level of delay, some level of procrastination, some level of laziness is going to creep into you. You are going to now look forward to dilly-dallying things, unnecessarily trying to put in your efforts into the 11th hour and not just finishing things within deadline on time, in time rather. And you understand the difference between the two. And this is not a grammatical class, but the point I'm trying to make is that playing on the edge, that delay coming into play from your mindset perspective into your day-to-day activities is going to be hypercritical. Jupiter is the lord of your ninth house as well as your 10th house, which means he rules your relationship with your father. He rules your principles, your belief system, spirituality, religion in your life. He is responsible for the benediction of your elders, superiors, your boss, your manager, any kind of mentor, guide, religious guru in your life. Their affection, their kindness, their benediction coming into your life is seen through Jupiter. Your own principles are seen through Jupiter. And he is also responsible for the spiritual enlightenment in your life, bed pleasures, anything with connections to your foreign movement, travel, settlement, connection there. It highlights any kind of remote placement, isolation in your life. So Jupiter holds two very important keys. He is responsible for the key of fate, destiny in your life, and he is coming into a placement which is bang opposite to itself. 180-degree placement from the ninth house and 4 places away from the 12th. Thereby, your efforts, your karma, your hard work is going to be the key towards success through all these significances that I've called out. Means your destiny is going to favor you when you are going to put in your effort. And that is why, Aries, you have to understand why people get scared of that Maran Karaka placement. Because if you are able to address that procrastination, that laziness, that intent to not work hard enough and chill for some time is not what Jupiter is going to be expecting from you. If you are able to tackle that particular issue, you are going to see a lot of positive outcome with this transit of Jupiter. Now, to understand the impact of this Jupiter, you must understand that Jupiter has come into the sign of Gemini. Now, Gemini, ruled by Mercury, means not a very solid relationship between Jupiter and Mercury. and it is going to have some of its repercussions. And to make matters worse, specifically for you, Aries, it has come into the third house, which is where the concept of Marran Karaka I was explaining a couple of minutes back. Now, combining the two things together, the first thing that you have to keep in mind is not dropping your guard. Be prepared that if some task, some opportunity, some action where you have to take action from yourself, some karma is required, Aries, you are not backing off. You are not dilly-dallying. You are not stretching it beyond the deadline or towards the deadline. All right. Second thing is that through the course of your transit of Jupiter in Gemini, your communication, especially your formal communication with your bosses, your expression to your manager, to your superiors at work, towards the elders in your family, towards your mentor, guide, etc., should be practiced with caution. You cannot be expressing yourself wildly and whatsoever comes to your mind. You have to be very cognizant that there could be a scope of some sort of misinterpretation because of this inimical relationship. All right. And I'm giving you all these warning signs so that you understand and then try to rule this transit through the course of the next few months. But once you will get clarity as to what is happening, what you will decipher is that the impact of this very Jupiter is very positive because he is giving an aspect to your 7th house, 9th house, and to your 11th house in the chart. So, communication is going to be critical. This is also going to be a period, Jupiter, where your Aries, where your siblings are going to see some phenomenal growth. Jupiter is going to bring in some expansion from that particular aspect. However, miscommunication with siblings is also a probability. So please be watchful on those regards. You taking a lot of short distance travels, distant travel towards any place of worship near to your home, going to a temple, to a church, to a mosque, or whatever religion that you practice, but visiting that place of worship on a regular basis, on a day-to-day basis, inculcating that in your lifestyle, my friends, is going to become a very positive change in your life through the course of this transit. Any obstacle you are facing, you make a promise to yourself that every Thursday morning or every day I'm just going to walk, or after work, whilst returning back home, I just drive, take a pit stop at that temple, gain blessings from my deity, and I'm going to come back. I'm going to just worship Shiva for a brief period of time and I'm going to be back home. Inculcate that habit, that change in your life, Aries. Because Jupiter, the Lord of spirituality, is sitting in the third house for you, in the house of short distance travels. He is going to bring a lot of travel during the course of this transit, especially work, profession related travel. You might have to go meet several people, come out of the comfort zone of working from home. There is a possibility that many of you will be embarking upon short duration international travel as well, especially for the people in Europe. Everything is short distance. International is also short distance for you guys. And I'm sorry, I'm giving example of Europe here as well because I see a lot of my audience coming in and trying to understand what happens there. But take that example from an Asian context perspective, from Indian or US context perspective. Your travel from New York to Virginia might not be counted as too long a distance given the scale and size of US. But guys, it is still in a different culture. The habits are different. And that is why it will turn out phenomenally important for you. You will be traveling short distance flights. Short distance drive within and around the city limits are going to be extremely crucial for you. You are going to pick up habits that are going to be of spiritual nature. And that is why I will recommend you, Aries, that you must be putting in effort in terms of doing some sort of philanthropic activity, some sort of donation, some sort of charitable contribution, either in a spiritual place or in a religious, in association with a religious organization, especially if you are doing with respect to food. So it may not be a bad idea, guys, if you face troubles, challenges, and you start feeding the homeless, feeding the people who are in or contributing in some way into a religious organization so that they can take that charter. Maybe there are so many gurdwaras that hold a langar. There are so many temples in and around my city as well that every Sunday they host free food for the people who come and just visit the temple. You might make your small contribution to that temple, or just contribute with food directly and put it there for the larger audience to consume. I used to do that so very often for the last 6 months. And these kind of simple activities done by you are going to be phenomenally great, because Jupiter's aspect is into your 11th house, your house of wish fulfillment and gains. It is aspecting your ninth as well as your fifth and seventh house of business partnerships, legal partnerships, marriage. And you are going to see an uptick on all those areas if you practice some of these activities, some of these actions at your end. It is going to be important for you to note that you might have a very reserved tendency in terms of intermingling with your neighbors, but I also anticipate many of you picking up new habits. Like I mentioned, new habit of visiting a temple, a place of worship on a daily basis. That is one activity. Or you might bring in certain activity more from a donation charitable perspective, or you might just start doing something in terms of mentorship. You might start guiding people, you might start teaching people, advising them for their betterment. Even your juniors at work, good thing to do. Now, just don't go overboard with anything, but do not hold yourself back in terms of contributing to their success as well. Jupiter from here is going to be aspecting your 7th house, guys. Many of you who are looking forward to get married, many of you who are in relationships and want to fructify it, want to translate that into a marital bliss, you might be able to embark on that road if, or rather in the duration of Jupiter's transit between May 15th to October 15th. These months are going to be very suitable for translation into marriage. New business partnerships are going to fructify for you. Just get hold of that laziness. Just try and tackle that particular situation with a positive mindset, Aries. You will see that you will add to the blossoming experience. That bliss, as I say, in marriage is going to expand. Your connection with your partner, with your spouse is going to improve. You together with your spouse, because this Jupiter is giving an aspect to the ninth. Starting a spiritual practice together, maybe just doing an evening aarti at home, just lighting up that candle in front of your altar for Jesus or Mother Mary or whatever religion you believe in, doing that one small activity together with your spouse, with your partner on a daily basis, going to be extremely positive. So you must think of inculcating those kind of things in your relationship. Preparing some food together, offering it to your partner, just that gesture of preparing that morning coffee once a week, morning tea once a week for your partner, waking up early and offering it to them is going to be so beautiful. It is going to help you. And these kind of thought processes, I'm giving you examples, but these kind of thought processes, these kind of initiatives will automatically come to your mind. This is also going to be a period where you will forge new business relationships and new connections. You are going to embark, even if you are in a job, you might be the reason in your job to extend those new relationships. Or you might have a role to play within the project, within the small scheme of things in that grander architect. Remember, Jupiter is the lord of your 12th house. So partnerships with foreign connections, partnerships with foreign people, with faraway land, even ninth house denotes that, is going to be crucial. It is going to amplify in your life, and that is a very positive amplification. So this transit is going to bring so many positives as well for you, Aries. Now, Jupiter is giving an aspect to your ninth house. I would want you to be careful in terms of how you articulate your thought process expression to your bosses, to your mentor, to your guru, to your superiors at work. Be very cautious about it. But if you are doing the right thing, if you are putting in the right effort from your end, this Jupiter is giving an aspect back to its own sign. You will see that you will get support from them too. Your father could be extremely supportive of you. They might push you in certain areas, but that push is required. It is requisite. It is the need of the hour. It is the need of the transit. So do not show any kind of resistance, guys. You have to accept it, absorb it, and use it for your transformation, for your improvement. So that success is bound to come if you practice that mindset during the course of this transit. Then the other bit is, and that's a beautiful aspect of Jupiter into your 11th house, folks. Jupiter is the Karaka for expansion, and that too with the ninth aspect giving an aspect to your 11th house. You can make anything happen during this transit. You can accomplish your goals, your targets, your objectives, your desires. be it with respect to your marriage, be it with respect to your growth at work, be it with respect to new learnings, spirituality, enlightenment, anything that you can imagine, foreign connections, opportunities with respect to foreign lands, you can fructify them. But be watchful and be reminded of the point that I called out, that you have to fight your procrastination, you have to fight laziness, take actions towards them. And my gosh, the outcomes can be phenomenal in you accomplishing the goals that you've set for yourself, Aries. I think this is going to be a transit of opportunities. This is going to be a transit of growth. This is going to be a transit of introspection to fight back against your own inhibitions, against your own self that can stop you from being successful. Everything is placed within your own hands with Jupiter's placement in the third house. If you are able to make good use of the time in the next few months, this Jupiter is going to be rewarding you, and you are going to see the blossoming of the outcome once Jupiter gets exalted in the fourth house. There is so much positive I anticipate. Like, this is going to be a period of the build-up. This is going to be the period of putting the pieces together so that you can accomplish the wider objectives in the next transit of Jupiter. So Jupiter is going to see whether or not you are prepared for that or not. And remember, this is the period of 8 years where Jupiter is in that Atichari movement. He is going to be traveling extremely fast. So you making the right growth, you finding the right success in your life is going to be critical, and it is going to be dependent on the kind of seeds you sowed during this period, Aries. So do not leave any stone unturned. If you've understood the message that I've sent out to you, if you've liked and appreciated the effort that has gone into it, guys, please smash on that like button, subscribe to Dave Astrology, and keep watching.